Well, today you are to learn what you can do to change this, to turn your business for better. Hello, this is Irina Strunina, and this is our MinkLife live show. And I would like to invite everyone to be our coach on your coach on your couch. So come in, chime in. We have a live chat going on, and I would like to invite you to participate in this conversation with our two co-hosts. So let's meet them. First, we have Kim Downey. She is helping us to learn about life in Feng Shui way. And we also have Denise Belisle, and she is serenity expert. Let's talk about how we can change things in our life for better. So, how has your tribe helped you on your entrepreneurial journey? And the Kim, since I invited her first, introduce her first, will help us to answer this question first.
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, how has my tribe helped me? I think that this is probably one of the most powerful parts of my life is when I am feeling things are going wrong or just getting stuck, that I just surround myself with some really dynamic people, whether it's through a women's networking group I belong to or different people in a more holistic field. I also turn a lot to, in feng shui, there's an area in your home that's called the helpful people and synchronicity area. So when things start to kind of feel off or I'm not feeling really in a high vibrational state, this is an area of my home I'll start looking at, and that's in that front right corner of your home. And that's just, an area that I start to look for of who do I need helpful in my life? Who can I engage with that can help pull me forward? And yeah.
Thank you, Kim. So the same question goes to Denise. How did your tribe help you to take responsibility on your entrepreneurial journey?
I feel that my tribe goes two ways. I have my tribe are the people that I'm supporting, and my tribe are the people that supports me. And I found that in the people that supports me, they keep me accountable. They keep me like I'm in charge, in a sense of whatever I say I was going to do, I need to do it. And so this is why I feel that it's very important to have a team with you that works with you, with your business, on your business. And me supporting the people in front of me, they keep me responsible in my business because I am there to support them. So it's a give and receive type of relationship where I receive and I give help with people that I work with as support team, and the same thing with my clients. I am there to give them support, and all of that keep me accountable, and it keeps me in the present because I know they require my help. The people below me, the people I help, and the people I work with, well, they might need my help too, but I know they're there if I need help, and that big motivator in my business and when I move forward, for sure.
Definitely. And I actually was thinking how to answer it, and of course Denise answered fully. I'm not as high in emotional and spiritual way as Kim is, but I'm dealing with people here, and I'm definitely thankful for my tribe people around me who are supporting me, who are my team, helping me to move forward, keeping me accountable. And at the same time, I have a huge, I have a huge community that I'm supporting. And since I already claimed that I am going to help them, they keeping me accountable, and I feel responsibility for them, and it kind of like pushes me forward to do. And of course, connecting with people like Kim, like Denise, like everybody else in MinkLife that we have. This is the people who are helping me to move forward. All right. Again, we see here some people on the couch chiming in, and I would like everyone who's listening, say what do you think about this question? What are your feelings? What are your relationships with your tribe, and how they are helping you? Moving on. Okay, well, we have Monica who said, I love this group. Today's show is going to be great. Yes. I need to remind myself to read the comments, because just typing the comments is not helping the show. All right, let's get motivated with today's focus. So, why is it important to take responsibilities for your actions, both good and bad? And I will start. Okay, Denise just turned.
I'm ready.
Denise right now.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So
Well,
why
it's
is
a
it
big
important?
thing. Yeah, it's a big thing in my world. I made that decision probably about 20 years ago, that whatever happened in my life, I'm going to be responsible for everything. So whether, even if I'm involved in a car accident and somebody hit me, I am responsible. If anything happened, I take full responsibility for what happened in my life. So what happened in that, the good in that, is that I keep my power. I don't give my power away. I don't give my power saying, "Oh, that's not my fault. He made me do it." Right? So that kind of giving my power away to other people, and diminishing myself. When I take power, yes, the bad is that sometimes, it hurts. It hurts sometimes to be fully responsible. Like if I do something and something bad happen, and to have the honesty to come forward and say, I am responsible for this mistake. It's difficult internally to take that decision and to take that responsibilities, but in the end, that builds up my integrity, that builds up my vulnerability, saying that, hey, I'm not perfect, my life is not perfect, but I take full responsibility for all the imperfection and all the perfection in my life. And what that does to me is I'm done saying it's not my fault. I don't think I ever say that, really. It's out of my vocabulary, because I feel that if I'm late for a meeting, whether there was like tons of traffic, an accident just happened, well, I chose that route, so that's my fault. Like if something burned, if I burn the food and whatever, well, it's my fault, right? I left it too long. Or even if, the recipe said to do one thing, if I've done what the recipe said, well, I didn't pay attention, so it's my fault. So all these things, fully responsible. The good is that I feel powerful, I feel empowered. And the bad, sometimes it hurts, and sometimes it's difficult to come forward and say, hey, it's my fault, and be responsible.
Absolutely. It makes you vulnerable, but it also makes you more relatable. So when people see that you are not the ideal that never could be reached, but you have your faults, and you are here to accept that and take responsibilities for this, they may actually listen to you closer and follow you with more, with more trust. So Kim, what about you? What your answer to this question? Why it is important to take responsibility for your actions, both good and bad?
I think listening listening to Denise, it really kind of started to make me think about choices that we, on a daily basis, the choices we make affect others around us. And part of that being responsible is being more intentional in the way we move throughout our day. And when we're not intentional, sometimes that does lead to be more, I wouldn't say necessarily bad things to happen, but maybe things that we didn't want to happen or we didn't intend to happen. So really taking responsibility and thinking things through more. And maybe that for some of us is just slowing down, reflecting, and then owning up to when we do make those mistakes. And it does create that feeling of being uncomfortable when, our day didn't go the way we wanted to, or maybe we did something that we didn't mean to want, or whether anything we said or an action we took. So I definitely think that the more we're responsible for our lives and for those around us, that does help us to become stronger and more powerful and create a higher vibration.
Definitely. Well, I was listening to both of you, Kim and Denise. I was thinking about the situations that sometimes we run into. I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of people, when we are connected with someone and we kind of trusting enough that other person or that other group of people that they will help me or they will take me to where I need to. All I need to do just show up. Yes, it's important to show up, but at the same time, and I personally found myself in such situation. At certain point in my life, I just realized that I have nobody to really rely on, but at the same time, I was not involved in life in these processes that much. So I had to, in a hurry, to learn a lot of things that I could have learned before. And therefore, I would not be that dependent on this other person, another system that we had in place. And this way, I will be more in charge, more responsible for what is happening to me. Because as I'm talking about myself, when I didn't do that, I was kind of like counting on that person, that person will take me through. I was not responsible. And then I had to relearn a lot of things in my life, in life around me, so I could actually stay afloat and keep people who depend on me afloat. But now I'm also teaching them to take responsibilities as well. All right, stay inspired. The next section. So, question: how does a lack of understanding of how you show up affect how we move through life and business?
Mm-hmm.
And since Kim was talking right now, I will invite you to just continue this discussion. How does a lack of understanding of how you show up affect how you move through life and business?
I think what comes to mind is sometimes when we're spending our days moving really fast and we're not slowing down and being intentional, being responsible, we kind of miss having a lack of understanding. And so I think it is really important to journal, to at the beginning of your day, at the end of the day, to reflect on how your day went. How can things go better? Are there little things that you could have changed up? They don't have to be gigantic. It could just be a small thing of maybe your day would have been better if you would have gotten up 15 minutes earlier and not felt so rushed, and then you wouldn't have snapped at the dog. So, I think that part of that understanding is really putting some systems into place and going back to your tribe. Maybe that's a good question to ask your tribe, ask the people around you, is there a better way to organize your day to be more intentional? Different things like that.
Yeah, definitely. When I was a child, we had a cartoon And the cartoon, it doesn't matter what it is. I just keep the quote from this cartoon. And this is the little elephant teaching the little parrot, saying, if you don't know something, you need to ask somebody about it. So definitely, when we are so much in a hurry, absolutely, it's hard sometimes to catch what I just did. And if we do not reflect it, or didn't have time for it, or sometimes we didn't even understand what happened, asking some people in your tribe, people who work with you, who communicate with you more often, is also helpful to understand what you just did, what happened today or last week. Excellent point. I didn't even think about it, but it's absolutely true. Denise, how you will respond to this question? How does a lack of understanding of how you show up affect how you move through life and business?
I think it will affect it tremendously, because I've had that conversation actually in the last couple of weeks, and we were talking about the real person as opposed to the person that come in on the screen or that goes to a meeting. And if there's a lack of integrity between the two, if there's a disconnect, if where you're seeing here now is not me, and then I go off screen and I take my mask off and I am somebody else, then it just affects you somehow. There's a lack of integrity, a lack of connection with your audience or with the people you're connecting with your friends. They want to know the real you, and that goes back to vulnerability. They want to know if you're suffering. They want to know, and if you're happy, they want to know, and they want to know like the real person. So it's important the way we show up, and also like we were talking actually about branding and about how we the things we say on our social media. And when there's people on social media and they say, oh, look what I had for dinner, or when they complain about this and that, and they're always ranting, but let's say I'm a serenity expert and I go on social media and I start ranting about, complaining about this or this and that. That's a disconnect. That's a lack of integrity with my brand, with who I am, and how I show up. And sometime I remember reading an article, it was last year, and sometime one post, one comment can destroy your brand, can destroy who you are, because people pay attention to who you are. So just to be authentic, like I'm a goofy little girl sometime, and people know that, and I do goofy things. Like today I'm wearing my red glasses, but it's a part of who I am, and that's how I show up. And I think it's important to just stay in integrity, and how you show up, and life will be much easier, because you don't have to remember your lie. That's one thing I learned, is when you lie, you have to remember your lie. When you tell the truth, it's the truth. You don't have to remember it.
Exactly. This is very useful, and I always recommend it to kids. You better tell me the truth. Prepare me for whatever the consequences may be coming, rather than tell me that everything is nice and sunny, and suddenly we have the wet shoes because we didn't put the proper shoes on. And I was thinking about the fact that so often in social media or in life, like in-person communication, people show up presenting themselves in a way how they think people would like to see them. And it's not matching their personality, it's not matching what they are. And then after they did this for a while, already build the image, and then they surprised why people never trust me, why people never tell me certain things, why people don't like me that much. But the point is, this misrepresenting yourself somehow is being transferred to people. At the same time, I may be talking about in certain way about myself. in reality, my little myself is sitting somewhere under it and waiting a response to me. But people responding to this other person, and that miscommunication is not helping in life and business for sure. All right, no surprises when you are taking responsibilities for we are showing up for others, said Monica Henderson. Thank you, Monica, for your comment. Okay, we have the next session. Keep networking. Who should you ask for help when we are trying to find a new community? And I'll just go with that, swing. So, Denise, would you please start this response?
Yeah. Well, if you already have part of a community, if you're already part of some group, but you're looking for a new one, because we always expand our network, and just ask the people in your network, where else do you hang out? Who do you hang out with? Who are people you could recommend to me that could help me in this or that area? And so ask your tribe, the people that works with you, that supports you, and just ask question like, who should I hang out with? This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be, for example, I'm looking to be speaking on different platforms. Who do you know that are offering these platforms? So people know. And 6 degrees separation, I think now in the internet, we're down to 4. Like it gets so quickly. People are connected all around the planet, especially in the last couple of years. Like I've been networking with people in South Africa and people in England and people in Australia, New Zealand, Peru, United States, all across the United States, all across Canada. So the world is open to us now, thank you to these technology, and people know people. So just ask your people around you. Don't be afraid to ask, and people will answer and give you help and give you direction. And then you try it out, because not every networking groups are going to be a fit for you. So give it a try for a couple of weeks. If they are a paying group, like ask, can I come in for free for a couple of meetings to check it out? And then you can evaluate that.
Definitely. Networking events are very, very helpful. So, Kim, what about you? Who people should ask for help when they're trying to find a new community?
I've actually found it really helpful that when I'm working on my business, I'm working on something that it's not my specialty, maybe I'm not so good at, a little bit more vulnerable. That's when I tend to meet people who are like, hey, I've got this great networking group, or I have someone I want you to meet. I think this would be really great. And that just seemed to kind of open up. Even my own clients have been, I want you to meet someone. I think this would be really good for you. And just kind of opening it up that you're interested in meeting more people. I think it goes back to that. Sometimes I think like Denise was saying, it depends on like the networking group, try it out. How do you feel in it? Sometimes if you feel you're not necessarily, I'm more introverted. I like more one-on-one with people. So going to a big event in person is a little bit more intimidating to me, where if it's something over Zoom, it's a little bit more small, intimate groups. So really kind of just knowing also, how do you want to show up? Where are you feeling more comfortable to talk to people, to engage?
Yes. I was thinking, what else we can add, what I can add, because you both covered pretty much everything that is available to us right now. Before COVID, before quarantine, before those 2 years of internet presence for myself personally, I've been really limiting myself to just few events that I go because I feel comfortable, because I know people there. But this is not what we're looking for, right? We're looking for new community, for new people to connect to. So with internet, it's definitely become much broader and available in so many in such a long distances from where we are, so we could reach much further. And what I found also that, and I keep telling about it everywhere, just forgetting sometimes to do it. The people, unfortunately, do not have this ability to read minds. And Kim maybe knows the perfect person who I need to connect, but if I will not open up and will not say that, hey, have you heard, do you know of anyone who is expert in such and such, or who knows such and such? Because it's not necessarily you have direct connection, but you may know the person who knows the person, and that this other third, fourth, 15th person who I'm looking for. But until we open our devices that make sound, we never will let people know about it. The communication is definitely important, and I, like, for me myself, it's definitely is helpful to speak to communities where I'm already. I need for new community. If I'm looking for new community, they definitely have some accesses. They just need to know that I need that. And I'm pretty sure they will provide this information. We all are so in love with the idea that we can help, right? So if you're asking for help, I need help, people jumping on, helping, sometimes too much, but it's really not too much is never hurts. It's always you could pick when you have a choices. Okay, we got to our next section of our show, and this section called Gain Knowledge. So, final thoughts. What is your final tip for calibrating your life by taking responsibility for your choices? And Kim, please start that.
Okay. I don't know. I think I need a little bit more time to think about that. Denise, would you be willing to take this first?
Sure, I will. I
Thank
will.
you.
I think all it is for me, the way I saw that is you're good enough. Regardless of what you think of yourself. Because often we kind of, the voices, I work with positive intelligence and I work with the saboteurs and the voices in people's mind and my mind. And these voices tell you that, you have to achieve more. You're not good enough. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too ugly. You're too beautiful. People. So I think if you tell yourself and you understand, if you have a hard time telling that to yourself that you're good enough, I've been immersing myself with Louise Hay lately because I've been wanting to change a few things in my mindset, and I love her. I think she's done an incredible work on affirmation and self-work. So go check out Louise Hay and go on the internet. You'll find video, PDF, whatever, books. And what I get out of that is if you believe in the heart, in the deepest of your soul that you are good enough, you will be. People will love you for the person that you are now. Very often people will look at you and give you compliment. And what do we say? Oh, no, that's okay. No, I wasn't good enough. And just say thank you. Just say, hey, yes, I am whatever you tell me. I am good. I am awesome. And if people put you down and say thank you, because they've given you maybe a little insight that you haven't seen, doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means that we're all imperfect in some ways and we need to improve. But that's good enough the way you are right now. So you are enough.
Excellent suggestion. We are good enough. Thank you. And Kim, are you ready?
I think so. That was beautiful, Denise. I feel really good about myself now. Thank you. I would say for finding that, as Denise was saying, feeling good enough about yourself. And then also just looking for if there's something like a pattern or a synchronicity, something that keeps showing up in your life that keeps testing you or keeps trying to call attention to you, to really dig into that and not to ignore it, to take responsibility for it, and to look at it maybe more in depth, because maybe it's just that's that part that you need to solve right now.
So you are good enough, and pay attention to what is happening, because those two combined gives us the power to act in our own name, in our own whatever we represent. I concur. So this is something that what I was going to say, something very similar to what Kim said. It's paying attention to what is happening around us, and because sometimes we may find ourselves so preoccupied with the idea, with the thought, with the movement, that we are not noticing very helpful events that are happening next to us, practically in front of our eyes, but we look above it and don't see it. So paying attention to what is happening around is also helps us to move forward, I think. All right, so now we are at the final session where we are going to make announcements. I'm not a singer. All singers are on their leaves of different kinds. So we are making announcements. And I would like to ask Kim first, tell what is happening in your life, what is going on, what is coming up, what we need to look for. Please tell us.
Yeah, so I'm doing a whole rebranding of my business. I'm getting really excited to do that. So then there'll be a new name, a new website, all fresh, just kind of elevating my life and elevating my business. So you can still reach out to set up a free 15-minute consultation to learn more about feng shui. And if you're feeling stuck, if you're trying to move ahead but just not really sure, something feels off in your environment around you, just reach out to me at kimdowneyconsulting@gmail.com, and we'll find some time to chat.
Thank you. I need to schedule this consultation with you for sure. It just took longer than I was planning for. All right, Denise, what's going on? What's coming up? Share, please.
Well, I invite you, if you want to know more about how to deal with those voices in the back of your mind that are telling you that you're not good enough, well, reach out. I'd love to have a chat with you. If you have problem with your relationship, or if you have problem with relationship with yourself, which is a relationship, reach out. We can have a chat. And also, I have a workshop with this organization here with MinkLife University. And next week, it's Get Shit Done. And what is your one thing? So I'm going to help you to clear your space, mental space, so that you can create your goals. And what is the one thing you need to do right now so that everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So that's next Wednesday at 8 a.m. So if you want more detail, just type in the chat, I want more details about that, and we'll send you the link of how to sign up. And I'm here to answer your question. If you have any information that you'd like to have about my business, just reach out, book a call with me, and I'll be happy to bring you towards serenity.
Excellent, thank you. Well, about myself, what is going on? 2 weeks ago, I had a big event. I hosted a big event. It's called Diabetes Healthcare Expo. And the next one, the last one for this year, will be on December 3rd. So I would like to let everybody know that you have diabetes. If you have somebody in your circle of friends or relatives who has diabetes, if you need some suggestions, ideas, meet with doctors, meet with experts, please follow my lead. This is the Facebook group that I have, and this group has all information about upcoming events. And the December 3rd, Diabetes Healthcare Expo, the last one this year. Please join us. Bring your people who you care for. That's about us. And
we rock. We're awesome.
Absolutely. And this is something that we all can probably recite together, but I will take the, um, initiative to read it. We have this amazing Mingle community. It's online learning community where we get together. This is the private group app where we could watch the videos and from the events and lectures. We can directly message to each other between the community members. It's off Facebook, so it's really looks like Facebook, but it's not. It's separate. We always asking for help, and most importantly, getting this help from our tribe. And we also can share our expertise. So join us. One of the amazing features that we have there is our Mincubator. This is our online office, virtual office, where we all come, have an opportunity to come and work, and not just feel by you are lonely solopreneur, but no, you are a member of a tribe, you're a member of a team, and we have people, experts in all business areas and life areas. So they could help you while you're working on some problems. They could support you when you have some challenges. And it's a daily co-working incubation session where we can make sure that no task is left behind. And as also Denise just mentioned, we have this crazy sessions happening right now, and it's called Get Shit Done. And again, experts like Kim, like Denise, like myself, like several other of our community members are helping each other to have it done. We always have this thing that we're thinking, oh, I got to do that. Oh, I got to take care of it. And we never find time for it. This is your opportunity to do this finally. So join us on those sessions. And of course, don't forget about our MinkLife motivation. We have live shows where we have members featured every week, twice a week. We have a podcast where members also get featured on multiple platforms as podcast contributors. And of course, we also have the the Amazon of Genius, where members of our community participate as contributors and are featured in articles in our magazine. So that, and Kim just said, yeah, I mentioned that. Kim reminded me that she is also having session in this Get Shit Done sessions. She has several, and this is very cool session that she is offering. So join us at www.minklifemotivations.com and see what we have available for you. I missed the clue that we just had before it. I was so busy talking.
Rock and roll. That's you.
All right. Well, I think this is the end of our show today.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody who contributed with your comments. Thank you, Kim, for coming, sharing your wisdom. Thank you, Denise, for joining us and sharing your wisdom. And I am Irina Strunina, your host for today.